Hey guys, what is up? I hope everyone is doing well. So today's video I want to talk all about mask acne, and just to make it clear, we're talking about the face like cover-up masks, not the skincare products. Today I just want to share my tips when it comes to preventing acne from these facial masks. So I really hope today's video is helpful, and it's definitely a hot topic at the minute with everything going on in the world. And if you're currently experiencing this, I feel you. So tip number one, let's actually just firstly talk about the kind of mask you are using. Trying to get some kind of reusable mask is fantastic. Now, what does come with that though is the cleanliness and the hygiene of the mask. So tip number one is definitely make sure you are actually washing your mask. This is a very kind of obvious tip, but actually it's something very easy to forget. I don't know, I think, to be honest, even myself, I think we're just very used to just picking up our mask, popping it on our face and focusing on the fact that, you know, the hygiene of like making sure we're keeping away from the virus. But actually there's a whole other hygiene conversation to be had about keep on putting the same mask on our faces. Now I just use facial covering, so I actually reuse bandanas and I tie them around my face to keep myself covered, and then I just chuck these in the wash very regularly. I have about 4 or 5 of them. I know a lot of other people are making kind of homemade masks as well. The ones you are buying from the shops, you know, if it's a reusable one, it should just be made from a fabric that you can just throw in the wash as well and wash, fantastic. But it's the kind of reusable ones that are made from that kind of paper material, obviously you can't wash those. So they are going to be kind of like a one-use only mask. And if you are currently using those and you're using that kind of mask consecutive days in a row, this could be a potential reason why you are also getting breakouts. Because when you're not washing these masks, you've got to think about it as well, is that firstly, you're going to be holding a lot of bacteria just from touching your face and obviously breathing inside the mask. But you also are actually gathering bacteria from things that you touch, which is like a whole other conversation which I really can't wrap my head around sometimes with the whole virus. Is that, you know, you might put on a face mask and go into a supermarket, but then you might be touching everything, and you might be touching everything wherever you go, like if you're going to transport. And then naturally as humans, we're not used to wearing a mask, so you are of course going to touch your mask probably without thinking. Maybe you have to readjust it, and you are transferring that onto the mask. So yeah, that could be a whole other conversation about the actual hygiene of these masks. But yeah, anyway, my round point, make sure you are cleaning your mask. Some people actually find they get a lot of irritation from the mask as well, because obviously the friction of it being on the face. So there's a couple of things you can look at around this. One could be the material of your mask. That'd be the first place I would look. I've seen some people who have real sensitivities of these masks find that actually having like a silk mask, which is obviously more expensive, but you know, it depends what kind of level of irritation you are experiencing. I'm also finding like cotton fabrics actually are softer on the skin. Or what you could do is have your mask, but find some kind of material, whether it is a cotton or whatever it is that's softer on your skin, and just put it on the inside of the mask. So you've got a layer between your skin and the face mask. So yeah, it's just a bit gentler touching the face. The next thing as well that you can look at in terms of like a cleanliness actually of the mask is if you get a tissue. Let me just, I've got one behind me. I've come prepared. So something that you can do if you are really worried about the bacteria that can be holding inside your mask is take a tissue and just peel it apart. So I've actually got 2 tips with this, but we'll get to the second one later. But anyway, peel it apart, and then you can just layer a bit of tissue underneath your mask as an extra kind of protection between. So that's just another option, just to increase that cleanliness, and then you can just take out the tissue and just change it. Now, a tip that I've seen going around with helping with the friction of these masks on the skin is using like a thicker moisturizer or a thicker like balm under the mask. But for me, like, I personally don't agree with that if you have acne prone skin, because I also think one of the issues with these masks is, well, firstly, we are not getting oxygen to our skin, so you're going to have a dehydration issue going on there. So we'll discuss that when we talked about skincare later. But you're having a lack of oxygen. You've also got your breathing going on inside, so obviously it's going to be harvesting a lot of bacteria inside that mask naturally as well. And the other thing as well, some people, because of this, are finding their skin is becoming a little bit more oily. So for an acne prone skin, I think putting a real thick cream on underneath your mask in the day could potentially cause more breakouts, because it's becoming too rich and thick and clogging a lot of the skin underneath as well with the increased oil production. So in terms of your rich and thick creams, I would go for a richer moisturizer in the evening when you're at home and you've taken off the mask for the day and you are, you know, doing your skincare to go to sleep. That's when I would put your thicker moisturizer on, because the Main thing you want to focus on with your skincare is protecting your skin barrier, and if you do that you know, really well through your skincare, the next day you should have already quite a nice strong barrier, which again is going to further protect you against all the friction and the sensitivity as well. So that's our key thing with skincare in general, is just protecting the barrier of the skin. So with that said, let's talk about skincare, because this is where there's a lot of little tips and things that you can do. Now, number one is make sure you are cleansing properly. Now, if you are wearing a mask, you know, you have to wear it for work and you have to wear it like all day, every second, I would cleanse morning and night to make sure you're cleansing properly. If you're just wearing a mask, you know, just when you nip out to the shop and it's like, you know, you don't have it on all day, you'll probably find just doing your really good cleanse in the evening, that's fine. It really depends on you and your skin type. Just listen to what you feel like your skin needs. Just make sure you are using a gentle cleanser and something that's not stripping. So I would stay away from the foaming cleansers. I've actually got a video coming out, probably my next video, all on double cleansing, and I talk about cleansers in there. I do already have an existing video though, I think it's called like how to know which cleanser is right for your skin. I don't know, I'll link it, but yeah, just stay away from the foaming cleansers, stay away from things that strip the skin. You want to make sure that we are not disturbing the pH, and this all goes back to what I said about making sure we're not disturbing our barrier of our skin. So cleansing properly with a gentle cleanser is number one. Number two is hydrate the skin. So as I said briefly earlier, we're not getting that oxygen supply to the skin, and from wearing a face covering, it's like actually during this time we've all been indoors and we are just generally finding our bodies and our skin is more dehydrated because we're just stuck inside all day. Exactly the same things going on with these face masks. This area of the skin especially is really, you know, being trapped and being deprived from oxygen, so hydration levels can really deplete there, and again, when your hydration levels are going to deplete, that's also going to affect your barrier of your skin. So I would really recommend a good hyaluronic acid serum. I would just get some hyaluronic in your skincare in some form. A recommendation I have just behind me, so I use the Inkey List hyaluronic acid, super cheap, super inexpensive, and it really does the job, and also great for acne prone skin. It's not going to break you out, nothing in there to like worry about. I just apply this as a serum, so you cleanse your skin. If you use a toner, great. Then just apply your hyaluronic acid and then you follow up with your moisturizer. Very, very easy. But yeah, this can do wonders if you are experiencing a lot of dehydration. And don't forget, dehydration can also be problematic for acne prone skin. So that's definitely a good tip, I think. If you had a skincare routine that was already working for you before you were wearing this mask, don't, you know, feel like you need to swap and change everything. Stick with it. It just might be just adding in a couple of these extra little steps or using your products in just a slightly different way. I would just say from a moisturizer front, just make sure that it is enough and don't skip it out either. Like, especially with acne prone skin, I think sometimes it's easy to think, oh, I'm really breaking out, maybe I need to strip everything back, and you just like consistencies. So some people would just use a serum and skip the moisturizer, but actually that could be doing more harm than good. So do make sure you are putting a moisturizer on your skin, because that is so important. Again, going back to it, the skin barrier, and making sure you have got that protection there on the skin. So another step I would definitely make sure you are doing is exfoliating. You don't need to overdo it. It's not like you need to start doing this every day, God no. Once or twice a week is absolutely fine, but make sure you have got that in the routine, especially when we are dealing with this kind of face mask acne, especially because you know, we've kind of already touched on this, but things can build up underneath these masks, and it is important just to have a very light exfoliation, just to make sure that you are getting rid of any dead skin that could be accumulating, you know, any excess oils and anything that, like I said, could just be accumulating under the skin. So wiping that slate clean, you know, once or twice a week max is more than enough, and it can really help and just make sure that you're just keeping things in balance, really. My personal favorite go-to exfoliators, I mean, if you do watch my channel, you know it's the Kukui Jojoba bead skin brightening exfoliator. I love it, holy grail, recommend it to everyone. It's just super gentle, suitable for every single skin type, even the most sensitive skins. It's just amazing, love it. Now, if you have got a lot of acne active breakouts and you don't want to use anything physical, you can of course go down the acid route. So my favorite acid at the moment is mandelic acid. I'm really liking that from The Ordinary, but you can go for others. So you go for a lactic maybe, just something very gentle. With acne though, some people do find that the BHA, so like a salicylic acid, can be really beneficial. But my advice around these acids is just go really gentle and don't overdo it. I think it's very easy with acne treatments to kind of just get really carried away and then end up starting using it like multiple times, you know, a week, and it could just be too much. So just start off very slow and just build it up with your skin. You know, maybe 2 times a week is enough. So moving on, another product which I just want to throw in, which I think is a really nice idea if you are really experiencing a lot of discomfort with these masks in your skin, is having a tonic on hand in like throughout the day. So the purpose of a tonic is to correct the pH of the skin, and when you correct the pH of the skin, it kind of just restores the comfort back into the skin. But also, especially with these masks throughout the day, you know, this could be something that could be becoming a little bit unbalanced and causing a little bit of discomfort as well. So I actually find having a tonic on hand throughout the day can be really comforting on the skin, and you can literally just go off, you know, to a bathroom somewhere on your own, just quickly take off your mask, give yourself a little spritz, refresh your skin, and that could really just help, you know, give your skin a bit of comfort. Lots of different tonics on the market you can go for. You know, some people actually just like using things like rose water. That's really nice and calming and soothing for the skin. I personally use the Lotus and Orange Blossom by Affinity Skin Tonic from Pi. I just really like this one. But yeah, I think you can really kind of go in any direction. I think just in general, just get a tonic that is alcohol free, so there's nothing in there that's going to dry the skin. That's why I really like the Pi ones, because they are alcohol free. Or like I said, something like a rose water. That again would be fine as well. And also another thing that's really beneficial for is that, I don't know about you guys, but when I have these masks on, it just makes me feel groggy. Like, do you know what I mean by that? Like, it makes me just feel kind of heavy in my face, and I just, all I look forward to is just getting home and just having like a shower and like cleansing my skin. It just makes me feel kind of gross. And when you have a tonic, like taking that mask and just giving yourself a spritz, it just refreshes you and just your like mind and everything at the same time about how you feel with this mask on. So that's another kind of benefit from it, just kind of giving your whole mind and skin a refresh. Okay, so I have one last tip, and this actually takes us back to the tissue. So I did say I had another tip. This is for you guys who have particularly oily skin and you're finding your skin is becoming quite oily under the mask, and it could also be contributing to your breakouts. Now on the market you find, you know, these like oil blotting sheets and things like that. Now I am not a massive fan of those because a lot of them actually contain powder on them, which you can't see. And when you look at the ingredients, a lot of them have talc in it, and that can be very pore clogging on the skin. Now, I've got a great free tip. Grab a tissue. You can also do this with toilet paper. But basically, grab a tissue and you want to just separate the layers. So you have like one thin, I think it's called ply, of tissue. And using the inside, if you dab this on your skin, it literally takes off any excess oil exactly the same as blotting paper, and there's obviously no like powder and stuff that's going to go into your skin. Really great tip to do, especially when you're accumulating a lot of oil and you just want to take you know, a little bit off of the skin. Oil isn't bad for the skin. I think that's just something to mention. So it is probably getting a bit long now. I thought it was going to be a really quick one. But anyway, oils aren't actually bad for the skin. Actually, our sebum actually does have antibacterial properties. So there is definitely a role, and it actually protects our skin from like pathogens and things that we encounter throughout the day. So you don't want to strip all the oil off the skin. But you know, if you are someone who does get very oily and is acne prone, you know, doing it like maybe once, maybe at lunchtime throughout the day, halfway through your work or something like that, great tip. And I really noticed a difference in breakouts. So anyway guys, they are pretty much all my tips. I really hope this video was helpful. Please do let me know in the comments if you have any tips though, like help each other out and also help me out because you guys teach me stuff as well. So yeah, I really hope this video was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and also if you enjoyed it and you enjoy watching skincare videos, please do come join the team and press subscribe. To my side right now, I'll pop another video if you want to go check out some more. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.